Ondo State government assures residents of safety, pledges proactive measures towards disaster prevention. Court remands select suspects of our church massacre. Federal government approves 5.12 billion naira pension arrears for over 90,000 retirees. From the foreign scene, middle-class families hit food banks as UK living costs soar.
Thank you for joining us on the news at 7. Amadi Bimpe Akindele. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa says his administration is intentional and deliberate in preventing emergency situations, especially flooding. Governor Aiyedatiwa stated this while receiving a delegation from the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and the World Bank Group at the Government House ahead of the flag-off of the Emergency Preparedness Response Project in the state. Aiyedatiwa described the state's inclusion among the 7 states selected for the project as a privilege due to its proactive stance and the commitment of his administration to disaster prevention. Government House correspondent Wahad Bankole reports.
In a bid to prevent emergency situations, especially flooding, the Ondo State government has intensified efforts at adopting proactive measures to safeguard lives and property. To this end, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa played host to a delegation from the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and the World Bank Group at the Government House in Akure ahead of the flag-off of the Emergency Preparedness Response Project in the state. The Government House was the venue as the NEMA delegation, led by the Director of Planning, Research and Forecasting, Bandele Onimude, explained that the EPR project, supported by the World Bank, is designed to help Ondo State develop a robust emergency response plan. He noted that the project will involve hazard mapping, community sensitization, data collection and analysis, and training of residents on appropriate response measures during disasters.
It's a workshop that is going to look at prevalent hazards and risk that is in the state, and we're going to sit down with the representative of local government from the 3 senatorial districts and SEMA to look at what are those things that should be put in place to avert the impact of such disaster when it does occur. It's not just going to stop at the workshop level. We're going to put our thoughts on paper, which we intend to send to His Excellency, and this is going to translate into a project supported by the World Bank Group.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who urged residents to support government efforts by refraining from dumping waste into drainage channels or erecting structures that could block waterways, said his administration is deliberate in preventing emergency situations. The governor highlighted the state's swift response to the recent damage caused by strong winds to the Akure Airport Tower, noting that normal airport operations were fully restored within 3 days to avoid travel disruptions.
For us in Ondo State, we are also very intentional and deliberate about preventing emergency situation from happening. That's especially the area of flood control. The State Minister of Environment and Ministry of Infrastructure and the Housing working together to proactively deploy our amphibian machine to do a lot of channelization before the rain starts, and that is why this year, apart from rising water level in the riverine area, that where some few communities had a bit of flood on the mainland because of the channelization that we're about to come, we have not experienced any flood as it were.
He lamented the long-standing sea incursion in Ayetoro community, describing it as a pathetic situation that had defied measures.
It's not a case that Ondo State government can deal with because it's a major sea incursion. along that belt, from Ayutthaya down to Awuye community. And this is oil producing area of the state, contributed so much to the national pulse, as it were. The current leadership, the country, we are working together currently to ensure that that incursion is tamed the way barrage in Lagos has been tamed and turned into Atlantic City. So we are working currently with the people, that's high tech, that did that in Lagos. It's introduced by Mr. President. All thanks to him for giving them that instruction to work with us.
On the role of the World Bank in the project, Francis Nkoka explained that the institution's mandate is not only to provide financial assistance to both the state and federal governments, but also to offer technical support.
With NEMA, when we had the discussion, we saw that it's important to put a lot of effort towards preparedness, but we know we are still on earth. Even if you prepare like that, disasters still happen. So we also need to look at how do we increase the capacities to respond when it happens.
It is hoped that all hands will remain on deck towards making the state and the people safe, especially during emergency situations. From the Government House in Akure, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, Ondo State Government has unveiled plans to empower youth through state-funded poultry farming initiatives aimed at reducing unemployment and boosting the protein intake of residents. Briefing newsman in Akure, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Agribusiness, Rotimi Akinshola, said the program through the Ondo State Agribusiness Empowerment Center, Osrc, is part of the state's strategy to address food insufficiency and promote agricultural entrepreneurship among the people. Omoyola Ngbeji has details.
The Senior Special Assistant to Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa on Agric and Agribusiness, Rotimi Akinshola, says the poultry farming scheme tagged Adiero is designed to create sustainable income opportunities for young beneficiaries while improving access to affordable poultry products across the state. According to him, the scheme will provide participating youths with all necessary tools and inputs including broilers, feeds, vaccines and drugs to ensure smooth operations.
We are announcing a new program in our agency called Adiero. It's a program about chicken rearing. The program is about basically what it is about supplying you day chicks, taking care of the chicks. For 6 weeks, we will take the chicken back and subtract whatever input we put into that chicken process, and whatever balance will be yours for taking care of the chicken.
The governor's aide assured that the program will be closely monitored and warned that unserious participants would not be encouraged.
If you're going to join this, it's not going to be online. It's physical verification, because we have to be able to actually physically trust those who are going to be taking care of the chicken. We want to know them, we want to see their premises, and we should be able to track whatever they're doing. This particular one is a project for a year, is to enhance our protein intake and to help the state build the protein level of our citizens and to turn the state into a chicken producing state.
On selection, Director of Livestock, Osrc, Surulere Akimbua, noted that interested youths from all the 18 local government areas of the state will undergo physical screening to ensure transparency and effective service delivery.
Our headquarters at Osrc in Akure, they will come here physically, we will get their coordinate, we do the verification, we do all the details, and we engage them. We give them training, we expose them to the rudiments of broiler production. And for your information, this program has the tendency of expanding at a geometrical rate. A lot of money have been assigned to this project, and we are engaging youths, those who are actually ready to do the job. Those youths that are not civil servants, they are not into any form of business, they are youths. anybody across board.
Chairman, Poultry Association of Nigeria, Southwest, Gideon Oluleye, also commended the initiative, saying the 5 to 6 week program per batch will significantly boost the state's economy and food security.
The governor promised that he's going to make sure that jobless youths are employed and empowered. This is exactly what's coming up now. And it's a laudable program. It's a program that our youths, provided they have their pens and they are passionate about this chicken production, they will be engaged. They will get jobs will be created.
The scheme is expected to kick off in the next 2 weeks. Omoriola Nwiji, Osrc News.
5 persons suspected to be masterminds of the 2022 massacre of 40 Christians at St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo have pleaded not guilty to 9 counts of terror filed against them by the federal government. The suspects, who were arraigned before Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court, alleged to be members of Al-Shabaab terrorist group with a cell in Kogi State. The arraignment of the suspects comes 3 years after the then Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, announced the arrest of those behind the attack. The judge ordered the suspects to be remanded in the custody of Department of State DSS. Unlawful detention of The judge ordered the suspect to be remanded in the custody of the Department of State Services, the DSS. We'll take a break now. When we come back, unlawful detention of minors in adult custodial centers becomes source of concerns in the country. Please stay with us.
Enjoy the delicious blend of cocoa, milk and sugar with the chocolaty nourishment of Peak Chocolate Milk Powder. Peak. Reach for your peak.
It is time to prioritize your health with the Jiggy Ashwaju Free Medical Outreach. Date Thursday, 7th August 2025. Time 8 a.m. prompt. Venue Grassroots Movement for Tinubu Office, number 25, Oyemekun Road, Adigbola Junction, Akure. Come and enjoy a full range of absolutely free medical services, medical checkups, eye examinations, free eyeglasses, free medications, and many more health-boosting surprises. It is your chance to care for your body, protect your vision, and take charge of your health at no cost. Tell your neighbors, bring your family. This is a medical outreach with purpose and compassion. Proudly brought to you by the Grassroots Movement for Tinubu Ondo State Chapter, working to build a healthier and stronger community. GMT. In God we trust.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m. all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
House refreshment osrc.ng, or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV and YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. For the rest of the news, the deputy governorship candidate of the Labour Party in November 2024 governorship election in Ondo State, Dayo Awude, and his supporters, as well as leaders of various political parties, have joined the All Progressives Congress, receiving the leader of the ruling party and governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, congratulated the defectors under the platform of the Sunshine Grassroots Network from various political parties, including PDP, SDP, and the ADC, on what he described as a wise decision to join the progressives. Aiyedatiwa pointed out to what he called the evidence of good governance under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu at the federal level and his own administration in the Sunshine State. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole now completes the story.
Members of the opposition parties in Ondo State, led by the deputy governorship candidate of the Labour Party in the November 16, 2024 governorship election, Dayo Awude, and his supporters, as well as leaders of various political parties, have joined the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. Awude, a former commissioner and former state vice chairman of the PDP, was the deputy governorship candidate of the Labour Party in the last election in Ondo State. He announced his defection, citing his alignment with the progressive ideals and developmental agenda of the current administration. Awude commended the leadership style of Governor Aiyedatiwa, noting that it informed his decision to join forces with his administration and pledged to work for the unity.
Everything that is needed to retain power because of what we are doing as the federal government and also as subnational. And the evidence of good governance by APC
and ideas of the ruling party. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
The Nigerian Correctional Service NCO has attributed the unlawful detention of minors in adult custodial centers to systemic failures at the state level, including the collapse of juvenile remand homes across the country. During the third public hearing of the Independent Investigative Panel on alleged corruption, abuse of power, torture, and other inhumane treatment at the NCOS, the head of Welfare Department of the service, Timothy David, explained that one of the primary reasons minors are sometimes admitted into adult correctional centers is the absence of functional juvenile facilities at the point of arrest. David, who also cited overcrowding and capacity challenges, urged state governments to uphold their constitutional responsibility in handling youth offenders. The NCOS official underscored that the legal responsibility to provide remand homes lies with state governments. We take another break. We'll be right back. Do stay with us.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 Naira. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Full House Refreshment is goodness to go round. The Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter Full House pack with more refreshment, which contains fresh cow milk. Enjoy Full House goodness filled with essential vitamin and minerals. Peak. Reach for your peak. Which contains fresh cow milk.
Welcome back. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has distributed relief items to windstorm victims in Ukanafo Oruk Anam Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom under the federal government Special Intervention Program. NEMA, head of operations in Akwa Ibom, Mrs. Mandu Aswani, who sympathized with the victims over their loss, urged the people to accept the offer from the federal government with gratitude. She stated that the gesture aimed to provide immediate succor to the victims as they rebuild their lives after the devastating windstorm. She added that the long-term recovery required collective efforts and that the agency would continue to work with stakeholders to ensure that everyone's safety is secured in the area. A passenger accused of assaulting airline officials aboard an Ibom air flight from Uyo to Lagos, Comfort Emerson, has been charged to court and remanded in Kirikiri Correctional Center in Lagos. Special Advisor on Media and Communications to the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Tunde Moshood, confirmed the development in a post on his ex-official pension arrears to 90,689 defined benefit scheme pensioners under the Pension Transition Arrangement Directorate. Its head of corporate communications, Olubenga Ajayi, in a statement, Director of Public Relations and Information, is quintessential Middle England, or at least it used to be. Residents there used to earn wages that gave them a comfortable middle-class lifestyle. But analysis shows that Kanik is now one of the lowest earning areas in the country. It's typical of how the cost of living crisis is hitting higher, and in professional couples eating into their disposable incomes and leaving them unable to afford the lifestyle they once took for granted. Ura Olami Olanikbekun tells us more. Sorry for that. Before we go, we take another look at the major stories. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has emphasized his administration's commitment to preventing disasters, especially flooding, and urged residents to support government efforts by refraining from indiscriminate dumping of waste, as the state has been selected for the World Bank-backed Emergency Preparedness Response Project, aimed at developing a robust emergency response plan and enhancing disaster preparedness. We also told you in the course of the bulletin that 5 suspects accused of the 2022 St. Francis Catholic Church massacre in Owo have pleaded not guilty to 9 terror charges and remain in DSS custody. You also heard that the federal government has paid 5.12 billion naira in pension arrears to nearly 91,000 retirees under the defined benefit scheme.